We do have quorum. So I would like to call this meeting to order. First order of business, if you guys can look at the meeting minutes from last month. See if there's any discussion, any change need to be made. And if it looks good, we need a motion and a second to approve.
Motion to approve?
And do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries unanimously. And now we are on to the library director's report.
Okay, so the director's report is directly behind the minutes. I did double check my printing of things, so hopefully everything looks good. Numbers are up pretty much across the board. Library visits to the catalog are a little bit down, but I'm not concerned about that. It's a funky way that we get that number through our integrated library system, and I'm not sure that I completely trust it. Attendance at programs is a little bit down, really not by much at all, and our big programs are coming up here starting in May, I think. If y'all hadn't heard, the Literary Ball is this Saturday evening. It is for adults, and you dress up as your favorite literary character. So you are welcome to come. Last month, we had the Teen Job Fair. We've been doing this annually for probably almost 10 years. And it's an event that we invite local employers to come, and it's geared towards teens ages 14 to 19. We do include the 14-year-olds because a lot of times there are volunteer positions that they could do at like the rec center or something. At the library, we do have a rule that our volunteers have to be at least 16 because they're in close proximity to people that might be a little sketchy. So we want to make sure that they're old enough to handle themselves. Pet Fest, which is my favorite event, was held again. How many have we had? Like 5?
At least.
Yeah, we've had a lot. And this is an event where local rescue groups can come and have dogs that are available for adoption and that sort of thing. People can bring their pets. It's a lot of fun. No alpacas this year. And then we had Farm Day because we have to cram as many animal programs as we can into the month. And that was at Heritage House Museum. It's a lot of fun. It's a real hands-on, family-oriented event where kids can see goats and learn a little bit about the way people lived in Pflugerville many years ago. And that's it for the report. Do you have any questions? All right.
Moving on to the Friends of the Library report.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kim Reese. I'm the treasurer of Friends, and I'm here to report on 2 months. We weren't able to cover last month. Just a few things. Amplify Austin, we did that again this year, our second year. I think that was March 4th or March 6th. I can't remember which. We did really good, raised about $2,000, which we did not expect. We were thinking that the first year was going to be a surprise, but the second year was an even bigger surprise. And then we had our second book sale recently. That was just last week and raised about $2,000 at that event as well, between cash sales and square sales. So 2,000 is the phrase of the day. Right before this board meeting, our Board Books for Babies offsite program that we've been working with Carmen here finished, and apparently was successful and very much appreciated. So we're looking at doing that again next year. We've also submitted our application to the city to request renaming of the original section of the library as the Audrey T. Deering Wing. Audrey was one of the founding members of the Friends, instrumental in the creation of the library. She passed away earlier this year, or last year, late last year. So the application has been submitted, it's moving forward, and we understand that it's in subcommittee right now, so we're hoping to find out something pretty soon, because that's been 2 weeks actually. So we're having our annual meeting coming up Tuesday, next week at 6 o'clock, and we'll be recognizing 3 of the library's outstanding teen volunteers and giving them a monetary award for their contributions to the library. The meeting's open to the public, so if you're interested, you're all invited to join us, and we'll be giving a yearly report recognizing the volunteers and talking about what we'll be accomplishing for the upcoming year. And then our next book sale is Friday, June 20th. And that's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Did you guys do better this year for Amplify Austin than last year?
We didn't, okay, what was it, like 3,000 last year? Yeah, we did about 3,000 last year.
It's a little bit less.
But we really didn't think we were gonna get 2,000. We just didn't think we would get the same kind of bump that we got, but we did very well, yeah.
That's fine.
I guess what we did do this year, we had more individual contributions.
Right.
Where last year, they were more, it was a smaller number of large contributions. And
Yeah.
we like the fact that we got so many extra people.
Yeah, we feel like it kind of reflects that
Some of
we've
you
kind of
folks
gotten
were
ourselves
members.
out
I
there.
appreciate it.
Do you guys give out a scholarship?
We have participated in the past. I've only been the treasurer for a year or so, and I don't think, we didn't do one last year, did we? I can't remember.
It's dependent on whether or not we have a candidate,
That's right.
who
We didn't have
is,
one last year, and
Yeah.
we're not sure about this
it's a
year.
candidate for an internship, and they have to meet certain criteria, and we just haven't had one.
But we
Does-
do budget for it. It's budgeted for it every year, so.
Does the library do scholarships?
I don't think
We do not, no,
I was just curious.
no. We do internships through Travis County, and then we sponsor a teen internship through the Friends.
Okay. Any other questions for the Friends? All right, thank you. Moving on to item 4C, Jennifer, on the legislation.
Okay, so I went ahead this time and just printed out the summaries of the bills. And this I got from the Texas Library Association's bill tracker. There's not been a lot of action on the bills of concern, but for example, Senate Bill 412 has passed through the Senate, and it's gone over to the House now. So it's just sort of, they sent it off to State Affairs, I think. So it's just making its way through, and we'll see how that goes. So there's a number on here that have had a little action on them, but it's mostly just referring it to another committee. And it's chronological by date, so you can take a look at that. The public hearings are available on Texas Legislature Online. You can actually watch them in real time. So, for example, House Bill 3225 is scheduled for a public hearing on the 14th. So you can just go to the website and watch those, which I've done. This has nothing to do with us at all, except that there's also a bill for museums that is very much along the same lines of museums will be fined or whatever if they have obscene art. Okay, so there's that. And I don't know how far that one's gone because I haven't been tracking it, but I heard about that today and I was like, okay. So probably some of these are gonna pass, right? And I've been discussing with Daniel and with our colleagues, like, we were dumbfounded because there's no parameters, right? And so we decided that since our parameters were set by the Supreme Court, and those have not been thrown out in Texas, that we will continue to operate the library according to those parameters about what is obscene and what isn't, and that's the Miller test, until we're told otherwise. So that's how we're going with it. So we'll see how well that goes. I can't think of any other way. I mean, I'd like to ask you guys, any other suggestions? I don't want to make it a adult-only library, I think that defeats the purpose of the public library, so So anyway, that's what we're going with. We're just gonna continue to serve everybody in this community to the best of our abilities until we're forced to stop. Okay? And that's it for the bills, the legislation.
Does anyone have any questions or concerns, comments?
I have a question. Are there any other bills in particular? I know this one about potentially testing the Miller test has been coming up a lot. Are there any other bills that you're concerned about as it relates to this library or things that could affect operations?
The ones in the TLA, like most of them, yes. Even when it is directed at a school library, we still pay attention to that because, they're our colleagues also, and they have a similar professional ethics that we do. But also because we know that what starts in the school library is going to hit the public library and then the junior colleges and then the universities. So yeah. There's a lot of bills we're concerned about. A lot of these, though, have had no movement since February. So I think those, we could probably not worry about too much. However, a lot of these are repeats. So, it may be that one bill that didn't move from February gets dropped off, but then there's 4 others that are the same bill. So,
Right.
yeah, there's a lot to be concerned about.
Do y'all receive any federal funding?
Are you thinking about the IMLS funding?
Just the general state of
We quasi receive federal funding through the IMLS, which is the Institute for Museum and Library Services, and it has recently been defunded. Those grants actually go to the state library system, and then the state library uses those grants to help out the libraries in its state. So for that particular grant, and every library in Texas gets this if they want to participate, that funded or partially funded our TechShare databases, which are academic journals and peer-reviewed sources. So we pay a portion of that, but it's a very small portion compared to what we would have to pay for that. It also eliminates our interlibrary loan. Is it interlibrary loan? No, it's TechShare. Our TechShare reimbursement. So if we have somebody who from another library that comes and doesn't return a book here, then that's a reimbursement. And then there's an interlibrary loan reimbursement for postage, I believe, and I might have those flipped. But and so that's when we borrow from another library or we lend to another library, it covers the postage for that. So all of those things would be affected. We do not use the E-rate, which is the electronic resources funding, so I'm not worried about that. But primarily, it's going to be those sort of things that we get through the state library. But, yeah, not private grants or anything.
Is it block granted to the state library? Like, is it based on population to the state? Or is
That's a good question. I don't know. But, Daniel and I have been discussing ideas about how we can still provide a lot of that service. Luckily, we have been tracking the usage of the individual resources within TechShare for quite a few years. So it's not going to be too taxing for us to go in and say, here are the 5 most used databases, and then see if we couldn't just purchase those separately or something. So that's probably what we'll do. Any other questions? Y'all have some great questions, by the way.
All right, moving on to the student liaisons. Mrs. Jenkins, do you have anything to report?
So for our library, we're gonna be doing like STAR testing, the end of the year test for like all high school students. And then the next thing will be AP exams, which is basically like college credit exams for like any student that's enrolled in a college credit course they can take and they can, able to get college credit. And then for our choir, we're going on a field trip to Mo Ranch. Do you guys know what Mo Ranch is? I've never been there before,
I
but
have no idea.
me neither.
Is it in Texas?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It's like 2 hours away from Pflugerville.
What's it called again?
Mo Ranch.
Mo?
Mo Ranch, yeah. I wasn't too sure what that was either, but she was pretty fun.
Do you know what it is now?
Huh?
Do you know what it is now?
No, not currently. No. I didn't look it up yet, but I think it's like somewhere in the countryside. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Tom?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing about like the STAR testing that's happening next week, as well as like, I know the libraries, I think at Pflugerville High School, I don't know about Hendrickson, but they're hosting like more like AP prep sessions for different classes. And this might just be me, and this might be kind of random, but I was just gonna ask about like, because I'm a part of this organization like Dear Asian Youth, and I was thinking about like running a blog where like students could write about different entries or like themes for each month. And I was just wondering if y'all had like any advice for like promoting that, or
That would be a Tiara question.
Oh, yeah. Well, were you wanting to promote that amongst other students or to the general public, or?
I would say to other students, but I wasn't sure like if I could like incorporate the library into that somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my question would be like, what kind of questions would you be asking the students? And like, is it more of like a advice to younger students, or just talking about your day-to-day life, or?
I would say it would be more about like day-to-day life, like just your own personal experiences. I wouldn't say it would be like giving advice to like other kids.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I guess one thing you could do is maybe if you're looking for people to interview, you could always come to our teen room and see if there's any other teens that might be open to being interviewed and whatnot. I know maybe not all of them, but maybe some of them will be open to sharing their day-to-day life experiences. And there's people from all over Pflugerville that hang out in the teen area. So, and then ways to promote, I know you could maybe do like flyers like amongst the school. I don't know if you're allowed to do like, I don't know what your rules are about social media.
I mean, flyers definitely.
Yeah, like flyers if you have any like public facing bulletin boards, or you might be able to you might be able to put like a few flyers in the teen area. That might be a Melissa question. I don't know if you've met Melissa, but yeah, those are my first thoughts, but you can always email me and I can give you more detailed things that after I chewed on it a little bit. But I hope that was helpful.
It was. Thank
Okay,
you.
cool.
Thank you. You can also try the coffee shops too. We got a lot of little coffee shops around here. You can put flyers up.
I will.
You even do like a interview at different coffee shops. Do you like coffee?
I wouldn't say so, but it's worth a shot.
They have like teas and stuff. It might be
Just
worth
wait.
All right, thank you guys very much. And moving on to the marketing and outreach update.
Yeah. So we're doing pretty well. I know a lot of our requests are actually ramping up for May, just for summer reading program promotion within the schools, and then also a lot of career day requests that I've gotten recently, just to talk about library science amongst the youth and stuff. So I always love going to career days, so I'm very excited for that. And our main focus has been we've had a lot of major programs going on. So things like our homeschool research fair tomorrow. We also have our literary ball, as Jennifer mentioned. Then the past month we've had Pet Fest, Farm Day, you name it, lots of different programs. So that's where a lot of my attention has been going. And then we've also been building some more partnerships. Me and Daniel actually were in a meeting today with a local business incubator. I forgot what their initials stand for, but it's EGBI, and they do small business coaching and things like that. So we actually discussed what a partnership might look like. So we're always finding new organizations, and glad to be like, I guess, reaching out to new groups in the community that could offer different services. So,
Did you guys have a meeting with all the school libraries last year?
we did. They usually have one with all the librarians and then the head librarian. Her name's Kara. They usually have it around August, like around school starting back. So, and then that's when they usually talk about like what they could reciprocally provide each other, and how we can help each other
That
out.
was put on by the school, correct?
Yes, they usually Melissa, Carmen, and Diane go over to the school, because I think it's part of PFISD's like back to school training stuff.
One thing that the youth librarians did start this year, I think it was in November or sometime, was a youth summit. So that would be a summit for area librarians in both school and public who work with the youth. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Board, any questions?
Cool.
All right, thank you very much.
Sounds great.
Moving on to agenda item 5A, our 5-year plan committee.
Yeah, this is the beginning of it. So I gave y'all last year's 5-year plan that you can definitely look over. How we usually do this is we appoint a 5-year plan committee. It's usually the 2 board officers, and then we can use somebody else from the library board to be involved in that. And we meet generally with me remotely to discuss the 5-year plan, what we want to do moving forward. I think I have a better idea of moving forward this year as far as the building goes, because we're doing a needs assessment right now. So that's exciting. And then we bring that back to the board, and the board can add their input, and then we clean it up. And we have to have it done by December 31st, so it's no huge hurry on it. But it is the report that we turn into, actually, I'm sorry, they changed the date, November, that we handed to the city council. So it's sort of our end of year thing. It is not a violation of the Open Meetings Act because it's not a quorum, and there's no decisions being made during those committee meetings. It's a subcommittee of the library board. All decisions will be made with the entire board.
So does that mean we can't have 4 members?
You can't have 4. You can have
Okay.
3 and me.
Got it. Because I think Oscar volunteered, and Sean, I can't remember, did you say you wanted to do it?
I didn't, but I would.
Okay. I know Oscar said something.
Okay.
And anybody else if they want to volunteer, or Sarah,
Well, it
you
would
wanna
be
do
you
it?
and Sarah
Yeah,
and
okay.
and
s-
a third person.
So I'm pretty sure Oscar volunteered a couple months ago and said he wanted to do it.
Okay.
Um,
I'll check with him. And then if he does not want to do it, Sean, you're the lucky person. Okay, so that's it on the 5-year plan.
Does that need to be action?
Yeah, I'm sorry, it does.
We have a motion to approve the 5-year plan committee. I'll make a motion to approve the 5-year planning committee as myself, Sarah, and Oscar. Do we have a second?
Second.
With the alternate being Sean. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed say nay.
I'm sorry, I just said aye. It's been a long day.
Motion carries.
Interesting.
What are the Aspire for 2040 goals?
Those are the city's strategic plans, so we try and align the library's goals with the city. So we just put on there what city goal it aligns with.
And I think we keep you guys updated as we go through, right? As we have the meetings.
When do you expect our first meeting to be?
It could be any time. I'll send out a doodle poll probably and get everybody's feedback on date and time.
Moving on to the library policies, it's been a month,
It-
like she said. I want to say, did I go home and send you, I reviewed it right away. Did I send it to you?
I don't think so, but I think we tabled it last month because we weren't sure what the legislation would be. But I think if y'all are good with it and the decision is that the library will move forward as we have in the past because we've used what has been for 40 years, the test, the litmus test for determining suitability of material in the library. And we don't have parameters yet from the state that we could go ahead and approve the policies with that in mind, that we're going forward as we always have. The other thing that I wanted to bring, and you don't have to if you don't want to, you can wait. There's no deadline on these policies. I do like to try and get them done every year because I think it's super important to make sure that you're keeping current of everything that's going on. There's one thing in the policies, and it's not in this document, but somehow it just keeps showing up in the finances. So we don't charge for people to use laptops for if they're using our meeting rooms. And it keeps showing in our fee table that we do. So I want to get that out once and for all. And that would be something that y'all would need to vote on, whether or not you formally want to get rid of that fee. And it is just a fee. If somebody were to be conducting a workshop or something and they needed to use one of our public computers, laptops, I don't think we need to charge them $25. We're already charging them for the room. So. I don't think some of our laptops are worth $25. So that would be up to you guys.
Has anybody got any input on?
So just to clarify, you're not currently charging people for that.
Right.
But it's written in the policy that there is a charge?
It's not even in this policy, but somehow it keeps showing up when I'm doing the budget.
Oh, okay, so it's like
So
a
I'm
line
trying to
item
get
then.
it out of the budget.
Is it on page 15?
Probably. I put a little note there saying
Yeah.
no laptop fee. Yeah. I put it in red to remove it. So I'd like the board to vote on removing it. And you can just vote on that one little piece of the policy if you want to wait on the rest of them. I just need a decision on that because the budget will be due on the 27th.
There is a fee to use the laptop and take it home though, right?
No.
No.
You check it out like you
Okay.
would anything else.
So there's no laptop fee whatsoever?
Right.
Okay. I'll make a motion to remove the laptop fee.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Who made the motion?
I made the motion.
And who seconded?
Jillian seconded.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a month. I've had 2 conventions. I got to do a 6-car pileup coming back from San Antonio. So I swear I looked at all the things and I thought I emailed it to you, but it's been a
Yeah,
month.
and you may have, like,
Do we want
I'll
to,
take another look and see if it's there.
are you guys comfortable voting on policies now or do you want to wait another month?
I just had a thought, I guess. I know you wrote about guest privacy and how perhaps you should move it up and make it more prominent. I actually agree. I feel like we're living in a time where a lot of folks are concerned about their privacy in public spaces. And I know as a public entity, there's not a lot that you can do, but I think it would probably reassure a lot of people
Okay.
to see that.
Yeah, I think so too, especially right now. It gets real dodgy.
Yeah. That was my only thought.
Okay.
Sarah, what do you think?
I'd like to wait one more month just so I can take a closer look at it. I have also been swamped, so if
Okay.
you guys are okay with waiting one more month.
Sounds good. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to bring up? We wouldn't be able to discuss it, but we can add it to the agenda for next month. All right. Do we have anything else, Jennifer, that you want to talk about?
No, that's it. Other than, another costume event on Saturday. If we can put an animal and a costume in the same program, we're gonna do it.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We'll see you guys next month.